We are back for another episode of Local Festive Traditions, which explores the roots and holiday traditions of local immigrant stories right here in Kennebunk. Each of these stories was researched and written using the local census as well as archival materials here at the Brickstore Museum. Don't forget, you can leave us stories about your own family traditions, questions about the stories that we tell, and discover more of the videos at brickstoremuseum.org/festive traditions. Let's jump back into our story.
Hello, my name is Anton Drescig, and I came to the United States as a widow in 1912. My children, Marie, age 19, Arthur, 14, Josephine, 9, and I left Europe in 1912, leaving behind my son John, who was in his 20s and had settled on his own. We departed on the SS Finland out of Antwerp, Belgium, and arrived in Hoboken, New Jersey on December 12th, 1912. Shortly thereafter, I married my second wife, Agnes, in New York City. Agnes from Switzerland also arrived in 1912. She was young, 16 at the time of our marriage, but she was a good mother to my children. We stayed in New York City for a short while. My daughter Marie found work in the city, but Arthur, Josephine, Agnes, and I headed north, purchasing our home at 32 Alfred Road in Kennebunk. Agnes worked as a dressmaker in town, and I was a trunk maker and carpenter also, working at the mills. My family and I became naturalized citizens in 1921. I am from a town called Trieste, in Italian, Trieste, which for those of you who are looking at a modern map is in Italy. But I wasn't Italian. My heritage was Austrian, with some Slovenian, Venetian, and more mixed in. If you've never heard of Trieste, it is no surprise. It's been a disputed area for centuries. It is in the northeast region of Italy that borders Austria, Slovenia, and the Adriatic Sea. Slavic, German, and Mediterranean influences and traditions converge in this region. And because of this, it has been a disputed area for over a century, which is one of the reasons I left. In fact, my first wife and I left Trieste and found safety in Switzerland before I ultimately came to the US. What will make my genealogy hard to track for future genealogists is that each time I was asked to fill out the census, my country of birth had changed. When I was born in the 1880s, Trieste was part of the Habsburg monarchy and under Austrian rule. By 1910, it was known as the Austro-Hungary Empire. By 1920, after the Great War, Trieste was annexed to Italy. In the 1930s, it became part of the Slovene Republic, which was later called Yugoslavia. In 1940, it was part of Austria, soon to fall to the Third Reich. In 1947, it became its own free city-state, and in 1954 was divided between Italy and Yugoslavia, which later moved Trieste back and forth between Slovenia and Croatia. So as you can see, when you ask me where I'm from, it's never an easy answer. While various countries use Trieste in their territorial games, the residents have always gotten along fairly well. And the city is known as a melting pot, where multiple cultures live and work together. We even had our own dialect, Tergestino, with its close connection to the Mediterranean. It was considered an important trade hub of Europe. There is a real mix of cultures and traditions in this region that form a beautiful mosaic. And this goes for Christmas traditions as well that have very ancient roots. On Christmas Eve in Trieste, children would often run around carrying homemade stars on a stick. These stars represented the star that guided the wise men to baby Jesus. Children would go from home to home and sing traditional carols before being rewarded with small sweets and snacks. A very common practice in the region that has pagan origins is the setting on fire of the Nadaline, or Yule log, on the night of Christmas Eve. The Nadaline is a big log, generally beech, oak, or mulberry, that is lit in the fireplace. According to tradition, the Nadaline had to remain lighted until New Year's Eve. But if you could keep it burning until the Epiphany on January 6th, this would bring good fortune to the whole house. Once the festivity ended, the coals were carefully preserved and used to light the fire when the home was threatened by bad weather. In Trieste, fires are not limited to the house. Pina Rule are large bonfires lit on the Epiphany and are a talisman of the year to come. Traditionally, the fires are lit by a small child to represent innocence. The direction in which the wind blows, the smoke indicates if the year will be a good one or a bad one. Trieste is known for its coffee, so each meal during the holiday season would end with a delightful cup of coffee known as El Nero, a delicious espresso served black. With our coffee, we enjoyed gubana, Trieste's most famous dish. In fact, inhabitants of the area have enjoyed this delicacy since the 1400s. Legend has it that gubana came to be because of a local woman, a very poor one, had no sugar on hand to sweeten her Christmas pies. So she made up a new recipe using only what she had on hand: flour, eggs, walnut, and honey. Today, gubana is made with additional ingredients, including dried fruits, especially raisins. Gubana comes from the Slavic word guba, which means to fold, as the cake is folded or rolled together. After a rich meal on Christmas Eve, we would dance, particularly the waltz. With Trieste's Austrian influence, waltzing was a popular custom. Santa Claus bringing gifts to the children of Trieste is a recent influence, but traditionally the one who brought gifts was San Nicolo. You know him as Saint Nick, who is the real man who gave birth to the Santa Claus legend. San Nicolo comes on December 6th. He has a long white beard, wears red and white clothes, a tiara, and carries a pastoral staff. Many similarities with Father Christmas, don't you think? According to the legend, San Nicolo was a bishop who gave 3 poor children 3 apples that overnight transformed into gold. Now he brings to children little presents, sweets or fruits if they have been good, coal if they haven't. I hope you all have been good this year. Frohe Weihnachten and Bon Natale means a Merry Christmas to you.